7 reasons why distant women are more attractive to men, a deeper perspective. In psychology and sociology, there exists a fascinating paradox. The more distant and elusive someone is, the more attractive they become. This phenomenon is particularly evident in male-female relationships, while women are often encouraged to express their emotions openly and intensely. In reality, those who maintain a sense of emotional detachment and are not easily deciphered tend to captivate men the most. But have you ever wondered why this happens? Could it be that indifference is not just a passive attitude but an unconscious strategy shaped by deep-rooted psychological principles? What is it about human psychology that makes calculated detachment such a powerful force of attraction? Join Practical Philosophy, a channel dedicated to applying philosophical insights to everyday life, as we uncover the hidden psychological laws behind this intriguing phenomenon. We won't just stop at theories. We will explore real-life examples that illustrate why maintaining a sense of mystery and independence can significantly enhance attraction. If you find this topic fascinating, stay tuned for the rest of the video, where we will dissect each psychological aspect in depth, helping you understand and apply these principles effectively in your own life. 1. The pursuit instinct. The harder it is to get, the more valuable it becomes. Take a moment to reflect on your own life. Have you ever found yourself appreciating something? Whether it's an item, an opportunity, or a relationship, only after it slipped out of your grasp? This is not just a fleeting emotion. It is a deeply ingrained psychological principle rooted in human nature. Imagine you are shopping and come across a stunning dress. You hesitate to buy it. But the moment you learn that it's the last one available, it suddenly feels special, something you absolutely must have. The same principle applies to love. The rarer and harder something is to attain, the more valuable it becomes in the eyes of others. Dr. Robert Cialdini's research on the scarcity principle has demonstrated that people naturally assign greater value to things that are difficult to acquire. When applied to relationships, this effect becomes even more pronounced. The harder a woman is to win over, the more intensely a man feels drawn to her. However, it is important to clarify that this does not mean playing manipulative games or creating artificial distance. The key lies in genuine independence, in maintaining one's self-worth and not surrendering personal value for the sake of a relationship. When a woman is not overly eager, does not immediately devote all her attention to someone, she naturally creates an air of challenge and mystery, something that triggers a man's instinct to pursue and unravel the unknown. Human nature dictates that we cherish what is difficult to obtain. This is not about arrogance or superficiality but rather a biological response deeply embedded in our psychology since ancient times. When something is rare, it is automatically perceived as more desirable. Dr. Cialdini's studies confirm that people assign greater worth to things that are not easily accessible. In love, this principle is even more powerful. The more effort a man must invest in winning a woman over, the more captivated he becomes. This explains why a woman who does not instantly reveal her emotions or rush into affection stimulates a man's curiosity and desire to explore. The space she creates makes him feel compelled to work harder, invest more effort, and in turn, this elevates her uniqueness and desirability in his eyes. 2. The intermittent reward effect. Emotions intensify when they are unpredictable. Imagine playing a video game where every time you win, you receive a predictable reward. At first, it feels exciting, but over time, the routine makes the game dull. Now, picture a different scenario. Sometimes you win a lot, sometimes you win nothing, and you never know when the next reward will come. The thrill and anticipation keep you engaged for much longer. The same principle applies to love. Human beings respond most intensely to intermittent rewards, those that come unpredictably rather than consistently. Research conducted by scientists at Harvard University reveals that when people receive attention inconsistently, their brains release higher levels of dopamine, the neurotransmitter responsible for pleasure and desire. This explains why an unexpected text from someone you like, after days of silence, can instantly brighten your entire day. This is also the underlying principle behind the allure of women who know how to maintain a bit of distance in communication. They don't always reply to messages immediately. They don't rush to show constant affection, but they know how to create moments that make the other person feel special. This not only keeps the relationship fresh but also triggers anticipation and appreciation from the other person. The human brain responds most strongly to unpredictable rewards. If someone always receives affection and attention easily, their brain gradually loses interest. However, when attention is given sporadically, sometimes close, sometimes distant, it activates the brain's reward system, creating greater satisfaction and increased desire. A real-life example. Imagine a man who receives a text from a woman he likes at the same time every day. Over time, his excitement will diminish, but if her messages come unpredictably, without a set pattern, it creates anticipation, making each response feel exciting and special. 3. The conquest instinct. Men are attracted to challenges. Have you ever observed children playing with toys? When a toy is easily within reach, they quickly lose interest, but when there is a toy placed just out of their grasp, it suddenly becomes the most desirable object in the room. This doesn't only apply to children. It also reflects how humans respond to things that are difficult to attain. Throughout evolutionary history, men have always had to compete to obtain what they desire, whether it be resources, social status, or a partner. When a woman is not easily won over, she triggers a man's competitive instinct and his deep-seated desire to prove his worth. This doesn't mean that women should deliberately create unrealistic barriers, but rather that they should recognize their own value and not compromise their standards just to please someone. A study conducted at the University of Colorado found that couples who faced challenges such as long-distance relationships, differences in mindset, or busy schedules had a 47% higher rate of long-term commitment compared to couples who did not experience such obstacles. When love is restricted or not easily accessible, it often becomes more intense. Remember, challenges in love should not be about creating unnecessary difficulties but about establishing clear standards and principles that encourage the other person to make an effort to earn your respect and affection. From ancient times, men have been hardwired to compete for survival, not just in hunting and protecting their territory but also in seeking a mate. This instinct still exists today. When a woman is not easily conquered, she naturally presents a challenge that makes men feel drawn into the game of conquest and self-validation. In reality, challenges do not just stimulate a man's instincts, they also increase a woman's perceived value in his eyes. A study from the University of Colorado revealed that couples who faced obstacles, such as long-distance relationships, cultural differences, or family disapproval, had a 47% higher rate of emotional connection compared to those who did not experience such challenges. This phenomenon, known as the Romeo and Juliet effect, reflects a fundamental psychological principle. What is forbidden or difficult to attain becomes even more desirable. Think about real-life relationships. Aren't the most passionate love stories often the ones that faced the most challenges? When people fight for love, they appreciate it more, and the emotional connection deepens. Men don't just want love, they want to feel they have earned it. That's why a woman who maintains her self-worth and doesn't fall into a man's arms too easily will always hold a stronger, more lasting attraction compared to those who offer everything freely without requiring any effort in return. 4. Independence creates lasting attraction. Have you ever noticed how someone becomes less attractive the moment they become overly dependent on you? The truth is, no one wants to be the sole focus of another person's world. It creates pressure and suffocation. One of the biggest mistakes many women make is revolving their entire life around a man. This doesn't just make them lose themselves, it also diminishes their value in the eyes of their partner. A man may feel loved at first, but over time, he will feel trapped and lose the initial attraction he once had. On the other hand, women who lead rich, fulfilling lives, have their own passions, personal goals, and do not rely on anyone else to complete them, naturally exude an irresistible charm. Men are drawn to women with a strong personality, a world of their own, and a sense of self-sufficiency, those who do not depend on them for happiness. A prime example is successful women who have thriving careers, personal ambitions, and a strong sense of balance between love and their individual lives. When you value your time, pursue what makes you happy, and maintain your own sense of fulfillment, you not only make yourself stronger but also create a magnetic, lasting attraction that no one can resist. One of the biggest pitfalls for many women is losing themselves in a relationship. handing over their entire life, dreams, and happiness to a man. This doesn't just lower their value in their partner's eyes but also erodes their autonomy, identity, and inner energy. An attractive woman is not the one who sacrifices everything for love, but the one who stands firm in her beliefs, nurtures her passions, and continues to live a vibrant life, even when no one is by her side. Think about the most captivating women. It's not just their looks that make them irresistible, but their aura of confidence, independence, and an unshakable spirit. Men are not only drawn to physical beauty but also to the psychological challenge of a woman who is whole and self-sufficient. Reality has shown that when a woman prioritizes her own self-worth, she attracts men who truly respect and appreciate her. Conversely, when a woman depends too much on her partner for happiness, she unknowingly creates an imbalance in the relationship, making her partner feel pressured and eventually lose interest. So, if you want to become truly attractive, start by loving yourself, valuing your life, and continuously growing as a person. 5. The halo effect. Mystery creates attraction. Imagine meeting someone entirely new. Just from a few subtle details, how they speak, their confident demeanor, or their calm presence, you instinctively assign them positive qualities, even though you barely know them. This is the halo effect, a psychological mechanism that makes us naturally perceive people as more attractive when they maintain an air of mystery. In the world of dating, attraction does not come from revealing everything at once, but rather from creating space for the imagination. Women who don't immediately disclose everything about themselves on the first meeting tend to leave a much stronger impression. They don't hide who they are, but they allow others the thrill of discovery, much like reading an engaging novel, each page revealing something new and exciting. This does not mean playing mind games or being intentionally secretive. Instead, it acknowledges a fundamental truth about human nature. People crave what they do not fully understand. When a woman possesses depth in her thinking, an independent life, and a world of her own that she does not instantly expose, it not only makes her more intriguing but also compels others to invest time in getting to know her, leading to a much stronger emotional connection. A perfect example of this can be found in iconic characters from film and literature. The most captivating women are not the ones who reveal everything about themselves from the start but rather those who cultivate an irresistible aura of intrigue, making others curious and eager to learn more. They may not always be the center of attention, but their presence leaves a lasting impact. If you observe closely, those who have long-lasting allure are often people with many layers to their personality. They have rich inner lives, personal ambitions, and deep values without needing external validation. Their independence is what makes them irresistible. It signals that their worth is not dictated by others' perceptions, but by their own self-assurance. This effect plays a crucial role in relationships as well. When a woman is not entirely predictable or easily understood, she stimulates a partner's curiosity, encouraging them to invest more time and energy in discovering who she truly is. On the other hand, if everything is laid out from the beginning, the sense of novelty fades quickly, making the relationship feel stagnant. So, if you want to maintain a lasting and compelling attraction, leave some room for mystery. Let your partner discover new facets of you over time, rather than unveiling everything too soon. The secret is not in hiding who you are, but in allowing others to unlock different layers of your personality, just like a beautifully written story waiting to unfold. 6. Men appreciate more when they have to make an effort. Have you ever noticed that things we obtain too easily tend to be less valued? A precious gift holds deeper meaning when we have to wait for it, strive for it, or even sacrifice something to attain it. Love operates under the same principle. When a relationship comes too easily, people are less likely to appreciate it. This is one of the deepest psychological truths, shaping the way humans interact in romantic relationships. Dr. Eli Finkel, a relationship expert at Northwestern University, conducted multiple studies and found that men invest more in relationships that require effort to sustain. If a woman is always available, constantly pursuing, and placing the man as her top priority, the man in that relationship will not feel the need to make an effort. And when no effort is required, he will gradually take the relationship for granted. Imagine a man pursuing a woman. If she responds immediately, with no challenge or barriers, everything unfolds too smoothly. At first, He might feel pleased, but over time, his excitement diminishes. On the other hand, if she maintains her independence, does not rush into things, and upholds her personal values, the man will feel the need to prove himself and put in the effort to earn her attention. And it is precisely this process that makes him cherish the relationship more deeply. Look at the most long-lasting and meaningful relationships, and you will notice one thing in common. They are never built on convenience but on emotional investment and shared challenges. When a man has to spend time understanding, pursuing, and maintaining a relationship, he develops a sense of attachment and ownership. This does not mean that women should play hard to get or create unnecessary difficulties. Rather, it means that women must recognize their self-worth and not give it away too easily in an attempt to please others. A truly valuable relationship is not one that comes effortlessly but one that requires both people to make an effort. When a man has to work to earn love and respect, he sees it as an important part of his life and will not let go so easily. Psychology's investment theory suggests that the more energy and effort someone puts into something, the more they value it. Relationships are no exception. If a man has to be patient, invest time, emotions, and effort to win over a woman, he will treasure the relationship far more than something that was handed to him without effort. Think about an expensive item you had to save up for months to buy versus something you received for free. While both may have the same monetary value, the one you worked hard for feels far more meaningful. Love works the same way. If a relationship is too easy, requiring no sacrifice or perseverance, it is likely to be taken for granted. This is why relationships that come easily often end just as easily, as they fail to establish the emotional depth necessary for long-term connection. A truly strong and enduring relationship is not one where one person always gives while the other simply receives. Both partners must put in equal effort, appreciate every shared moment, and build mutual value together. When a woman understands this and upholds her self-worth, she not only ensures that men appreciate her more, but she also lays the foundation for a stable, meaningful, and fulfilling love. 7. Personal space strengthens a relationship. There is a fascinating paradox in love. The more space there is, the more people cherish connection. In a world where we are constantly bombarded with notifications and instant messages, too much presence can dull natural desire in a relationship. Personal space is not a sign of emotional distance, but rather a crucial factor in maintaining long-term attraction. Think of an artistic painting. The empty spaces in a painting do not make it meaningless, rather, they help highlight the beauty of the composition. Similarly, in love, having a healthy amount of space allows both partners to appreciate and value each other more. When one person is always available, always responding immediately, and always fulfilling their partner's needs, they become too familiar, and familiarity often leads to diminished appreciation. Dr. Terry Orbick, a relationship expert, found that couples who spend time apart have a 60% higher happiness rate compared to those who are constantly together without any personal space. The reason is simple. When each person has room to grow individually, they not only become a better version of themselves but also bring fresh energy and excitement into the relationship. When both partners maintain fulfilling lives outside of love, conversations become more engaging, and attraction remains strong over time. Take, for example, individuals who maintain their own hobbies, careers, and social circles. A woman does not need to make herself the center of a man's world to maintain attraction. On the contrary, it is her independence, her balance between love and personal life, that makes her truly special. When a man realizes that the woman beside him has a rich and fascinating world of her own, he will naturally be drawn to explore more about her. The most important thing to understand is that personal space does not mean emotional detachment. It is a form of mutual respect. When both partners know how to create space to breathe, to reflect, and to appreciate one another, love does not fade due to routine or emotional dependence. So, if you want a relationship to last, learn to maintain your own space, because that is how love breathes and flourishes naturally. In the end, being emotionally reserved does not mean being distant, but rather knowing how to create enough space for both people to miss and appreciate each other. A healthy relationship is one where both individuals have their own personal growth, passions, and freedom, without feeling trapped. The key here is not to play it cool, but to balance affection with independence. When a woman understands this, she no longer has to try to attract anyone. Attraction will happen effortlessly. Conclusion. Love is neither a chase nor a game of control. Intentional detachment is not a manipulative strategy, but rather a wise approach to building a long-lasting relationship. It is the art of self-mastery, of preserving one's own value, and of creating a natural and enduring attraction. When a woman understands her worth, she no longer needs to try to attract anyone. Her confidence and independence become her most magnetic qualities. Remember, attraction does not come from tirelessly trying to please someone. It arises from the balance between affection and freedom. A healthy relationship is not about losing oneself in the other person, but about two independent individuals coexisting, supporting, and respecting each other. Now, take a moment to reflect. Are you losing yourself in the process of pleasing someone else? Do you have enough space for personal growth? Or are you caught in the cycle of emotional dependency? If so, this is your sign to change. Live fully for yourself, embrace your own passions, and let love come naturally. If you found this article insightful, share it with those around you to help them understand the hidden psychological principles behind human attraction. Don't forget to follow Practical Philosophy, where we analyze not only philosophical perspectives but also explore human nature and how to apply psychological principles to create a more meaningful and fulfilling life. Subscribe to Practical Philosophy today so you won't miss more deep, thought-provoking content. Thank you for your time, and may you always live fully and meaningfully.